There have been conflicting reports on whether the New York Knicks have interest in DeMar DeRozan, so we're going to break this down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video today. But make sure very quickly to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos that we put out. 15.2% of our viewers are subscribed. Let's get that number up, guys. But now let's just talk about what we're here to talk about, which is DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan and the Knicks have been linked for a few years now. It always feels like he's someone the Knicks could target depending on the regime. Look, maybe he's just a name. Maybe it's just because he's one of the bigger names in basketball. But DeRozan has been targeted as a potential Knick since around the summer where the Bulls signed DeRozan and Lonzo Ball. It seemed as if the Knicks also had interest, like they may have tried to sign him before signing Evan Fournier instead, which obviously in hindsight was a massive error. But we survived, the Knicks are good, and the Bulls are not, so clearly it's all okay. But according to reports, according to Amico Hoops, the 76ers, Heat, and Knicks are all expected to show interest in DeMar DeRozan. And really, there have been conflicting reports about this, and to essentially show you guys what I mean, DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine are two players who could be moved to the deadline, according to SNY. And would the Knicks have interest is the question. According to Ian Begley, as he noted, he'd be somewhat surprised if New York pursued DeRozan aggressively, and even more surprised if the Knicks pursued LaVine aggressively. We've made a few videos on Zach LaVine, but it has been a while since then because it's been pretty clear the Knicks are not going to make a move for Zach LaVine. At the end of the day, LaVine is a client of Clutch Sports. He's just... his value's weird right now. He doesn't make sense in the Knicks. The Knicks know that. The Bulls know that. Zach LaVine knows that. And, again, to top it all off, Clutch Sports, CAA, LaVine's one of their bigger clients. That's not happening. DeRozan, on the other hand, feels more likely, but as Ian Begley said, probably not going to happen. The Knicks are probably not going to aggressively pursue him. Aggressively being the key word. So the Knicks might check in on his price and think, all right, is he worth the rental? Is he worth the 6-month rental? Can we kind of do with him like what we did with RJ and have him start the game, have him finish the game, but stagger his minutes so that he's mainly playing with the bench unit and giving the Knicks shot creation with that bench unit that he's mainly playing with? It would be interesting to see. I think on one hand it would be decent for the Knicks, but also the shooting factor kind of makes things a little iffy. The man is not exactly a high-volume three-point shooter, and he shoots 32.9% from three this season. So I don't know if he's exactly the answer that the New York Knicks need, especially if you're going to move Dante DiVincenzo to the bench in exchange for this guy, where instead of having someone who's been lights out since he joined the starting lineup in DiVincenzo, you'd have DeRozan, who's really not, who's trying to work from the inside and wants the ball in his hands, like Brunson and like Randall, which is obviously the problem that RJ Barrett had with the Knicks. Now, yes, DeRozan's better than RJ. He's a better shot creator than RJ by far. But still, it is something to be aware of, that the Knicks just kind of made the team fit better with each other. I don't think adding DeMar DeRozan would help the fit. I think that's kind of similar to DeJounte Murray. But DeRozan does have interest in the Knicks, and that has to be noted because, according to Sam Amick of The Athletic, DeRozan would reportedly be open to a trade, and if he's dealt, New York is one of the two preferred locations. And what he said is that when it comes to possible destinations, the Heat and the Knicks are known to be preferable to DeRozan if he winds up getting moved. Side note, the Bulls should move him. There's no reason to keep him. He'll just walk in free agency anyway. Get pennies on the dollar back if you can, Chicago. Just don't lose him for nothing. That'd be so stupid. You guys do everything wrong. Please, just don't mess this up. And let us watch DeMar DeRozan in the playoffs because we want to see that. And we all know you guys aren't getting there. But really, no shade towards Bulls Digest. We love them over here. But the real thing is here, the Knicks don't really need DeMar DeRozan as much as they need someone to come off the bench, play the minutes that Jalen Brunson doesn't have to play so the man can get some actual time on the bench so he can rest. And then that's really it. Maybe get a guy who can back up Randall and sort of be insurance if Julius goes down. But even having OG Anunoby now, it's kind of like you could put him at the 4 and have him be a small ball 4 and then start Josh Hart or something like that. There's moves to make if Randall goes down, having OG and his size now. But really what the Knicks need is some sort of backup point guard who can create his own shot and create for others, such as Malcolm Brogdon or something like that. I don't exactly think that it would make sense for the Knicks to go for DeMar DeRozan. I don't think it would really hurt the team that much, but it's just the lack of shooting. I think I just want to go into the playoffs with a Knicks team that knows how to shoot the ball and shoots the ball very well between Brunson, Anunoby, and DiVincenzo. Also, having a guy like Hartenstein who can create some spacing, really making plays at the high post, and also getting a ton of offensive boards. And then Randall can just attack inside in those one-on-one matchups. And if you are the Knicks, and if you go into the playoffs, when Randall attacks, he's not going to get one-on-one matchups if DeRozan's on the court, because people are going to be playing off DeRozan and daring him to shoot threes like they have been for the last 10 years on DeMar DeRozan when he makes the playoffs. That's my concern. We know that DeMar DeRozan's good. I mean, if you look at his stats, this season he's averaging 22 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. He's shooting 46% from the field, 33.9% from 3. And, I mean, he's having a good season. Like, don't get me wrong. But it's also the worst season he's had with the Bulls, and probably because the Bulls are having the most turmoil right now. DeRozan's first season with Chicago, he averaged 28 points per game, then was around 24.5 points per game last season. Now he's down to 22. Could that be age? Probably to a degree it's age. But it's also just the fact that the Knicks really, or the Bulls really are in complete disaster mode. I don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. No one knows what they're doing. And because of that, DeRozan is kind of trying to figure it out. Same thing as Levine. They're really not having their best seasons. And I think because Chicago has just been really toxic over the past few seasons, especially this one. And they probably both want to get traded for the good of their careers. I just don't think the Knicks are the place for DeRozan. Like, yeah, we need shot creation. And yeah, DeRozan would help us out with that a ton. But also, then we bench DiVincenzo, who's having a monster season. We're probably using Quentin Grimes' contract for that. We're probably using Evan Fournier's contract for that. DeRozan's a free agent at the end of the year. We wouldn't be able to flip him in a trade for a star. That's not possible because DeRozan would probably walk in free agency. Let's be real. Or he'd re-sign, and then there would be a limit on when he could be traded. So if the Knicks wanted to make a deal this summer, they wouldn't be able to. They'd also have to figure out how to make DeRozan work in the starting lineup and make him look good enough to be traded. And obviously he is. But with the Knicks, sometimes that's not going to happen. Like with R.J. Barrett, there were reports that the Raptors were one of the few teams who still respectfully valued him in the NBA. And that's because R.J.'s fit was awful with the Knicks. Now he's on the Raptors, and he's averaging 20 and 7. He's having a great year with them so far, because he fits on the team. DeRozan doesn't fit on the Knicks. I don't think this would be a good idea. I don't think it works out. Comment down below if you disagree. Comment down below if you agree. Should the Knicks go for DeRozan? Because, look, at the end of the day, it does fix their shot creation problem that the Knicks do have, especially when it comes to wings and forwards. DeRozan can help. So like this video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you don't miss any content from Knicks Digest, and let me know down below if you think DeRozan could help the Knicks go farther in the playoffs this year, and potentially down the line, whether he's traded or he just sticks around and plays out the rest of his prime in New York. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and go Knicks.